to please mute yourself. So thank you everyone for joining today's program organized by Friends of India Society International. I'm Vivek Sinha, one of the General Secretary of FISI, welcoming you to this great conference on one of the most intriguing question which Dr. Hari Singh ji is going to discuss with us. The Friends of India Society International has been conducting seminars, workshops, and presentations by distinguished person on matters of India and the world at large. Friends of India Society, as you know, plans to educate the Friends of India all over the world in support of India cause and the world togetherness. In this series, we have a very dynamic presentation on a very good topic by our own Dr. Hari Singh ji. And today's topic is COVID-19 pandemic, coping up with the help of Bhagavad Gita. As we start program, please, as requested, mute yourself. And throughout the program, at the end of his talk, you can ask question and we'll take it there. It's my pleasure to right now present Dr. Bhishma Agnihotri, International President of Friends of India Society. Dr. Agnihotri, would you like to say something?
Yes. Namaskar to everybody. That's great that we have so many people here today. Dr. Hari Singh ji, we have known about him, but I was privileged to request him to lead our program in Washington, D.C. When Friends of India Society International had arranged for a very good program for which was basically it was to a sort of movement against corruption in India, and we had Baba Ramdev ji to inaugurate that program, and we have requested at that time Dr. Hari Singh ji to be our chairman of that program. So at that time, I came to know about him more, and thereafter we have been together on many occasions. So we are very pleased that we have with him. So let us listen to what he's going to say on the topic, which was partially handled earlier by Suresh ji. Dr. Suresh, please. Go ahead. Hari Singh ji. मेरी आवाज में दे रही है सबको?
Yeah. Respected Bhishma Agnihotri ji, thank you for this brief introduction about me. I would like to welcome all my friends, colleagues, all ladies and gentlemen who are here. I'm very pleased to say hello to them, and I'm happy they have joined to pay attention what I'm going to say. But the most important thing is there, how this issue came in COVID-19 and Bhagavad Gita. So I need to give you some background, what prompted me to think about this. So just give you an example. Most of you are aware, we were trying to come back to normal sometime January or February this year when we started taking our COVID vaccination. I think I am and my family, we both got in the between February and March. That's all. We were thinking that we are coming back to normal. I know everything is going to be green once more. But you know, at the same time, when I thought of here, I started thinking about India, what is happening there. India was in the worst grip of COVID. On April 20th, I got a news from India in the morning, and I did not expect at that time. My niece, my sister's daughter, called me. And she said, Mama ji, mom is gone. And there was pinned up silence. I could not think of it, what happened. And then she started crying. So she was not able to communicate what happened. Immediately I said, just leave the phone. I called her back after few minutes, and then I spoke with her. She described, she died of COVID. I said, is there anything you can go further? And she was not able to fully define, but she said, we have been trying to get her admitted in the hospital at Lucknow, which is capital city of Uttar Pradesh. Most of you are aware of that. Lot of hospital, and she is living closer to the Vivekanand Hospital in the Lucknow area, if you are familiar with. I think my brother-in-law, my daughter, they were trying to find any hospital by calling, by doing things. No admission, hospitals are full. And even one hospital, ultimately they got to admit her after going around about few hours, early morning of that day, with the approach of somebody in the ministry, Uttar Pradesh ministry. Think about it. She got admitted, but there was no bed. And fortunately, she got bed. There was no oxygen. So what happened? Just visualize the scenario, what happened. She got admitted, no PPE, no arrangement, nothing. And she expired after a couple of hours staying there in the hospital. And by the time my brother-in-law, he calls me, he was also such in depressive mood, and he could not explain everything, what happened. He said, cremation is done now, I am coming back from cremation. I said, you got cremation? So now I realized afterward, now nobody is allowed to take the body home, they had to go for cremation. So, and after that, I have been following with him. He is unable to communicate much, just like he's gone into depression, some sort of depression. His family structure, mean where he used to live, he located from one, he used to be in the Kanpur, moved from there to Lucknow. What is happening here? Why I am telling this thing? At that time it happened, I think April and March somewhere, that was the worst period for India. And due to that, I described you cremation situation that was getting worse, very hard to find, and lack of timely presence of your loved ones for cremation or any other support. So what happened? That increased the mental stress and feeling of some sort of helplessness, and then loneliness, because you don't have anybody who can come at that moment. This, it appears there was a lot of disaster around, and there was uncertainty of life, where things were going at that time. Slowly coming to know, what I realized, that was the societal fabric was completely disrupted, affecting housing, personal relationships, people cannot go anywhere, and I should say all aspects of life. So you understand why I am here. Let me share with you what I will be giving you some update on COVID, what's going on today, and then I will come back to the aftermath of COVID or during COVID, what our scripture, Bhagavad Gita, is talking about. And I will give you all analogy with the Bhagavad Gita and the COVID-19 war, what we are going on world level, global level. So please bear with me. Let me share my screen with you guys. Hari Om. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So I'm just giving you some data from last week until I think today. If you see the death due to COVID in India, it was much higher than what it was reported on July 29. And this is coming from news media from India, some newspapers, radio, television, all those things. And whatever reported figures were there, they were 77 to 8 times higher than that. So about 3.1 to 3.4 million people passed away from India. That was the official report. And officially it was reported 422,022. And during April to June, there was brutal, that's what I'm talking about, had second wave of infection. So I see in India recovered from something and then came to this second wave of infection. And so far, it has recorded 28 million cases in India in June, and it started coming down slowly to that level. World Health Organization estimated 4.18 million people who have died, of which 2.2 million were in 2021, this year. This is WHO data. Now, as of today, India recorded 35,499 new cases and 447 deaths in a day. This is the data from today, August 9th. There is 4% decline in weekly cases after registering a 7.5% decline last week. That was not bad situation last week. This week is got little better. Total number of people fully vaccinated are, can you believe, in India, only 12% who may have received both vaccination, and partially vaccinated are 42%. I think Himachal Pradesh is the only state in India right now that is the highest vaccination of about 24.6%, followed by Kerala, 23.8%. Our Uttarakhand is about, it is not showing up here, Uttarakhand about 22 point something, and the lowest is in our Uttar Pradesh, that is 5.7%. So let me show you here. And now what is happening in USA. So I'm just comparing what happened in India that caused a lot of problem. Now you just see what happened here. And you are hearing this news every day. Florida is the, Florida, I'm talking about August 3rd, when Florida recorded about, Delta variant hospitalization cases increasing over there. And on 2nd of August, there were 11,515 patients were hospitalized, mostly young patients, children and pregnant women as well. Center for Disease Control reported the more than 50,000 new cases reported in Louisiana state itself in last 3 days. And mostly, unfortunately or fortunately, mostly infected individuals are still unvaccinated people. Now, what happened from 4 to 8? I could not get data from today, but this 4 to 8, more than 100,000 new cases per day are reported in USA. I think there was in the news today, I see it's 100,000 is on daily basis. And there is a rapid increase in contagious Delta variant infection and hospitalization. I think today, today's news, I was just watching, it says in Austin, Texas, I think they have only 6 beds left in some hospital. They don't have, person can now see you. Louisiana is the leading nation in explosion of new cases. So what is happening? Southern states, Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, these are the right now in the grip of Delta variant. Hospitals are overflowing and admitting more younger infected patients. I think today they are talking about children less than 12. And I think there is a lot of approach they are trying to do it. These children, before they go to schools, which are about to open right now, they should be vaccinated. And the case is pending with the FDA for approval for this vaccination in these children. Anyway, it is not there yet. Texas hospital was swamped with Delta variant infected patients. Vaccination is now rising slowly. Delta variant infection is now changing the administration of vaccine. Now at least some people who were reluctant not to get vaccinated, they are coming back to the point. They are ready to take, and they are taking it. Now, another new mutation of the same Delta COVID-19, Lambda variant. I think it has been reported in the Peru, that is South American country. And recently, there was a report, it has been detected somewhere in USA. And this particular variant, called it Lambda, it has increased resistance to vaccines. So I think that will be another problem. So what I'm giving here, just realize what grip we are going through. And I will come back to the point why I selected this topic and what type of message I'm going to give to all my colleagues, all my friends, all those ladies and gentlemen who are here. This effect of aftermath of this COVID, now, as I said earlier, that disrupted the fabric of our society. It is affecting our personal lives. We are all feeling our relationships with our relatives, with our friends, with our neighbors. Everything is our employment, work, travel, leisurely activities, and all other aspects of life are adversely affected. Children's education is badly affected. What they will do, if suppose they cannot wear mask all day around, the small children going to the elementary school, and it is required because there is no vaccine less than 12 years children. Economic condition, which was started improving and is still improving, but now it is threatened. What will happen tomorrow? Uncertainty and anxiety are rising again among masses. People are getting worried. Like us, we are thinking what we do. Now, what it does, mental health is being adversely affected. We are psychologically being mentally affected by this. And that can have an impact on our physical health as well. Now, what we need to do? There is a need for guidance for facing COVID pandemic challenges, adversities, and crises. And we have to be resilient to that. That's my message. Now, what I'm talking about, our Hindu scripture, most of you are aware of this Bhagavad Gita, has wealth of insights that can help approaches to build psychological resilience for individuals at risk, mean those people who are affected, and for those who are also caregivers, just like our doctors, nurses, and anybody else working in the hospital scenario. So now I will come and go a little bit more in what Bhagavad Gita says, but just give you in brief. Bhagavad Gita, three main yogas: Jnana Yoga, path of knowledge, path of action, and path of meditation. Now, when talk about Jnana Yoga, that is talking about knowledge. Knowledge promotes accurate awareness of nature of self, who we are, and can help reframe thinking from I to we mode. Which means generally we think about I, myself. जो कुछ होना है हमें को होना है, हमारे सामने वाले को, हमारे फ्रेंड को क्या होना, we are not concerned. Once we understand, then we change our mode from I to we, and we try to help each other and thus collectively mitigate the spread of this COVID. So this thinking, and then Karma Yoga, the path of action. Sri Krishna says that he teaches Nishkam Karma Yoga, that is called selfless action, providing caregivers, frontline medical workers, a framework to continue efforts in the face of uncertain consequences. So I will be explaining you later. Dhyana Yoga, path of meditation, that provides lots of approaches how to live, how to make healthy life, how to do meditation, how can improve our resilience to the illness and severe consequences. And to get all these two, I did a lot of research going through, and this some of the idea I got for Indian Journal of Psychiatry that was published last year. They talk about some study with the Bhagavad Gita. Then I was reading, I got another journal on psychology. And this has to do with mental imbalance. And then I saw something on Google search and all those things. There are so many things available. But let me put where I see where I could contribute anything. Let me see, I can change my view over here a little bit. Yeah, okay, that might help me. Okay. Now, so just to, I think my screen is being not, let me come back. Okay. Okay. So now I just said Bhagavad Gita, and most of my friends, colleagues, whosoever are here, they are aware of what Bhagavad Gita is. But why I'm going to compare with Bhagavad Gita, what it has to do with COVID-19, that's good to understand that. But to understand Bhagavad Gita, you need to find out from where this Bhagavad Gita came. Little bit background we all need to understand. And most of you are aware, I know you are familiar with. Do you know from where Bhagavad Gita came? I think you know. You must have heard when you were little younger in India, Mahabharata. You must have listened Mahabharata. You must have read Mahabharata. You may have seen on this television Mahabharata, and you might have read. So what happened? Bhagavad Gita is one section coming out of the Mahabharata. And Mahabharata, as you know, is the largest Hindu epic containing more than 1,000 verses in Sanskrit. And just for your knowledge, I'm just giving you the importance of Bhagavad Gita. And from there, this Bhishma Parva is talking about, there are 28 chapters out of 23 and 24 given in the Bhishma Parva that talks about Bhagavad Gita, 28th chapter. So what happened Bhagavad Gita, just I can explain to you a little bit on why I'm going to compare it. Bhagavad Gita gives you, because you must have heard about Pandavas and Kauravas. There was a Mahayuddha, Bhisham Sangram, world war, more than world war, millions of soldiers and people. They gathered in Kurukshetra to fight war. And war of what? Not just war. It was a war on dharma and adharma, righteousness and righteousness. And that was right and wrong. And what happened when Arjuna was standing, when he went to fight the war, he was the Pandava prince, was just, I'm going to compare, I will compare. So Arjuna, he was main fighter. He was supposed to start the war, fight. And Bhagavan Krishna was his charioteer. When he went in the middle of two armies, he got so much bewildered to see his uncles, gurus, and all those relatives, and he could not, he did not think that he was going to fight with them, he's going to kill them. And that was Vishad Yoga, and I will mention to you later. So let's come back, go further here. Now, when I say Kurukshetra, I'm going to give an analogy. Now you know what Kurukshetra is. Kurukshetra, where the war took place, Mahabharata. So I'm comparing Kurukshetra here. Who was the enemy in Kurukshetra? Think about Kauravas and their supporters, the relatives, whatever you call it. And they were adharmic. adharma, unrighteousness, and I'm not going to detail, you understand why. And battlefield was Kurukshetra. Soldiers, armies of Pandavas and Kauravas, their relatives, elders, teachers, and supporters. Leaders, Pandava army was Arjuna, Kaurava was Duryodhana. Who were victims? Kauravas and their supporters. Unrighteous forces, they were the victims of that war. And who were victorious? Pandavas, righteousness. So that was a war between righteousness and unrighteousness. Now I'm coming back to COVID-19 war. That is, pandemic is a war. Just think about it. Here, millions of people have died worldwide, more than what could have died in World War I or II. I don't know exactly. And here, enemy is COVID-19 viral infection. Battlefield, your home, hospital, nursing homes, another medical care facilities. Who are the soldiers here? Nurses, another medical care workers. Who are the leaders? Doctors. They are taking the main lead to do that. Who are the victims here? Affected people, patient, families, and human population as a whole. Patient is the one who is suffering, but due to patient, families are suffering. Due to patient, families, and the entire human population, just like all of us. We think about India, we think about other countries, we think about our neighbors, where we live. They are the victims. Who are victorious? If somebody is cured, their families are happy, and the entire human population is happy. Just like we were trying to get happy in the month of January, February, and then another wave came in. Now we are going through Delta. Okay, let's go see here. Now to my presentation now stays on effect of COVID-19 viral infection on individual, families, communities, and caregivers, just like doctor, nurses, other medical professionals, okay, and such as hospital, nursing home, other medical facility. And then responsibilities and duties of patients, family members, community, caregivers, and caregiving facilities. I mean, I hope you understand this point. Otherwise, I will fail. If you don't understand, I will fail. I'll give a failing mark to me. So pay attention to this, very important, because everything depends upon Bhagavad Gita, what it talks about here. Now, effect of COVID-19 viral infection. I just gave you in my introductory remarks something. Now see what's going on. Extreme suffering due to sickness and pain. Unpredictability of cure. It was some time. I'm still not sure. And possibility of death. Family members, they are going through anxiety, sadness, physical and mental stress, financial hardship, and uncertainty of hope. Am I right? Community is worried. Spreadability of this infection, mass infection and sickness, uncertainty of survival. पता नहीं कि आज मैं जिंदा रहूंगा नहीं, अगर हमको infection हो गया क्या होगा? That is completely uncertainty. And ultimately, if you don't win it, possibility of death is there. So now caregivers, I'm coming to the caregivers, and you know who are they? Doctors, nurses, and other medical staff. They are the people who lead the fight. They are getting, and they are afraid they can get infected too, because they are working with infected people. They may succumb and die, or they will spread the virus to their loved ones. You see, if they go home, their children there, their family, wife, husband, whosoever are there, they get it. Suffering with immense emotional and mental weakness, making a difficult decision whether to treat this patient or refuse not to treat, and then say, stay home. A doctor has to make decision whether doctor must do the job in the hospital, I stay home and save the family. What if they die in the process? What will happen? What if they could not cure the disease and patient may die? Some sort of uncertainty is there, and these healthcare givers professionals they face. You know, another aspect, some doctors who have pregnant wives have to isolate themselves from them. Similarly, from other family members, some of them have to live outside of their home in order to protect their other family members from infection. Some of the examples of emotional trauma, which is never ending. And we are experiencing that thing. This is happening. This is emotional. And same thing, caregiving facilities. You know, we have faced that one. Unavailability of space, beds in the hospital. Right now, second or third time we are facing here. What do you think about India and other countries? Oxygen supply, ventilators. I think I was just watching in the news today. There is some shortage of ventilator in either somewhere in Louisiana or Florida and some hospital. They are talking about another 300 ventilators, asking from anywhere. Just keep on moving. And then talking about necessary personal protective equipments and supplies and medication, resulting no place for treatment for appropriate care. So see what's happening here now. Now I'm coming back to responsibility and duties of ourselves. What are our duties? Our duties mean people's duty. And we have been told again and again, you know, in this country, there is a difference of opinion, but I'm not talking about just for use of our face mask that known to slowly effectively viral infection by protecting oneself and other from infection. That is helpful. Keeping distance, you know, staying indoor as much as possible. Avoiding attending events having a large gathering of people. We all do. I think most of us are observing this. And more important, which is still behind, I know all of us, we have gotten, it does not mean that everybody got it. Getting safe and effective vaccines administered as advised by the healthcare professional. It's very critical that we should take responsibility to observe whatever instructions are given to us to protect ourselves. Majority of the people affected by COVID-19, they recover. Older individuals with obesity and comorbid medical illness such as diabetes and lung disease are prone to develop severe diseases. In such cases, it is important that exercise, some sort of meditation, anti-inflammatory and antioxidant diet generally is recommended. And one of them is that yoga is likely to reduce inflammation and help in controlling infection. So now, where I'm going now, you just see it. Now recently made available safe and effective vaccines have been proven for prevention if administered as advised. So I'm coming back to analogy with Bhagavad Gita here again. Now I'm coming back what Bhagavad Gita says. A healthy lifestyle, including healthy sleep, you should have good, one should have good sleep, exercise, and diet may be protective against developing COVID-19 related severe complications. He's not talking about you will not develop it if you don't care, but it can protect you from severe illness. Bhagavad Gita chapter 6 says, one of the 6 chapter, verse number 7, Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta chestasya karvasu, yukta swapna bodhasya, yogo bhavate dukha. He who is temperate, moderate in his habits of eating, sleeping, working, and recreation can mitigate all sorrows by practicing the yoga system. Very nicely given in chapter 6. We all have to be moderate in consumption, sleeping, eating, working, recreation, everything. We can help ourselves. What caregivers should do? I'm just talking about general population. Now I'm coming to caregivers. The frontline healthcare workers who care for a patient are likely to have similar emotional reaction as Arjuna. Now I'm coming back to what happened to Arjuna. Would you please tell me whether do I need to go and explain you what happened to Arjun? Yeah, you have some idea, so I can just bypass that. I should not describe what type of Bishad Yoga he was there. He was suffering with that. He completely lost everything. Anyhow, let me come back to you again here. So just like when I say similar reaction as Arjuna, mean there was a lack of equipments, facilities, and treatments, high likelihood heart mortality, and unpredictable negative outcomes, and risk to himself or herself. So hospitals, agar hospital mein, if there are no, if these items are not there, how doctors are going to treat with them? Compounding this, especially when resources such as ventilators, oxygen supplies, effective medications are limited or not available, the doctors have to make tough decisions of whose life to save and who's not. Very critical decision to make, responsible decision. Adding to these personal emotions, when facing with death of a patient, having to deliver bad news to their families, ultimately results in emotional anguish, guilt, burnout, and possible neurosis to them, caregivers, particularly doctors. How they tell to the family, your loved one has passed away. Very sad situation. Now, I'm giving an analogy with Vishad Yoga, Arjun's with Vishad Yoga. When he was going through, he was not ready to fight. So now these outcomes of COVID-19 viral infection, which caregivers like doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers remind us Arjun Vishad Yoga and teachings of Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1. And what after going through, after when he looked at his relatives, friends, brothers, teachers, and all those mighty, particularly Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and all those Karna and all those, these were immortal people. And now you see what happens here. He says, Bepat Ushchacha Sarire me Romaharascha Jayate Gandivam Sansrate Hastat Twak Chev Paridayate. And at that time, he said, and meaning is my body is trembling. At that time, he started trembling. My hair is standing, and my bow, Gandiva, is slipping my hand, and his skin is burning. He got to that stage. And then it said, further it says, Nacha Shaknom Vasthavtam Sramatit cha che manaha nimittan cha pashyami vipritan keshva. I am now unable to stand here and any longer. I am forgetting myself, and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. Oh Shri Krishna, oh Krishna. Another example. Kim no rajyen govinda, kim bhogar jivaten cha, eshararthe kanakshitam no rajyam bhoga sukhano cha. Oh Govinda, of what avail to us or the kingdom, happiness, or even life itself, when all those for whom we may desire them are now arrayed on this battlefield, they're standing in front of me. Further, Eo Muktva Arjunaha Sankhe Rathopastha Upavishla Brisaj Sasaram Chapam Sog Sev Magna Manasha. Sanjay said to King Dhritarashtra, explaining the story, he said, Arjun, thus having spoken on the battlefield, he cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, and he was overwhelmed with grief. So comparing here with the doctor, when he goes to the hospital, he doesn't find anything, how to take so many patients. Beds are not there, they're lying on the floor and all those, so sad situation. Now coming to, what's the duty here? From the perspective of the doctor, nurses, and other healthcare workers, what is the inspiration they should derive from Srimad Bhagavad Gita? The following quote is very inspirational and strong. Hato va prapsyasi swarga jitva va bhokshyase mahim tasmatustha kaunteya yudhyay krita nischaya. He says, either you will die, will you die? We will die or reach heaven, or else you will conquer and rule the earth. Therefore, Kaunteya, arise, get up with your resolve, set on battle, go and fight the war. So Bhagavan Krishna was here giving him impetus. Don't give up like that. Do your duty, and I'm coming to that point. Now, Bhagavan Sri Krishna talking for this performing one's duty, he says, it is the personal dharma of a person to perform his or her duty. It is just like I am here, my job is to do my duty. My job is not to sit around and not to do anything. I'm giving an example, and he's talking about Arjuna, such as for Kshatriya. Kshatriya means the person who is a ruler, who is a fighter, who is the protector of his of the people. There was nothing superior to fighting for the sake of dharma. Dharma means you fight for the right cause, fight for your righteous purpose, not for the adharmic work. So that was the purpose. Now, same thing for a doctor. There is nothing superior than delivering the care what a patient requires. Doctor's first job is to give care. This, of course, applies to doctors in the present situation. Doctors are trained to perform a set of actions, that is, care for patients. Therefore, doctors abandoning this battle and renouncing their duty are perverse and wholly impractical. And this happened. I do not know about here, but this happened in India. People, these doctors, some, I'm not talking in general, but it happened. Either they were asking for more money to get the patient admitted in the hospital. Yeah, they were not ready to do that thing, and they did not perform what they were supposed to do. So sad. Let me come back here again. Now, what guidance is coming to these workers from Bhagavad Gita? So now this is doctors should continue to perform their duty without desire. Now I'm coming back to, as Suresh Raji may be understanding, I'm coming to Nishkam Karma Yoga. Just say doctors should continue to perform their duty without desire and attachment. And such action should be with detachment, without a desire for personal gain and being unperturbed by success or failure. Little, is it this this Nishkam Karma is a little difficult to understand. When you do something, you are expecting something. And if you do expecting something, yeah, we all have goals, what to do. But doing our duty to accomplish our goal, what we can do. But we are trying to accomplish goal, and what would be the result of my duty does not depend upon me, or does not depend upon you if you do the duty, because that depends upon somebody else. You do your duty. And if you don't desire anything, what happens? If I say I'm going to give this talk today here, and if I do good job here, prepare myself, read it, prepare it, and then come rehearsal and come back and give the talk, and I'm happy that I did my job, whether you like it or you not like it, but that is going to give the message that I did my job, and the people who are going to receive this, they will appreciate or not appreciate what has been done here. So here Bhagavan Krishna says, if you do your duty, don't think you are going to get what you are asking for. Leave it to someone. And in that case, you perform your duty with compassion, accept the result, whatever you get it, with equanimity and without any guilt. And then you don't feel sorry for it. What happened in that case? You feel happy. You did your job, you accomplished. But if you don't do that, you will regret. Sri Krishna further says, the training one's mind to engage in selfless action is not easy and require practice. That is abhyasa. Abhyas means it is not. If I want to do it, I may not be able to do it right away. But this is practical aspect. If we do it, we are always, we are in contentment. We feel happy. We feel we have done our job. What happens to that? It doesn't matter. We will do the right thing, and then need to protect oneself to carry out your duty to protect others effectively. So what happens if we have that knowledge, who self-knowledge, I, myself, and others, both are same individuals with the same Atman. So what happens? If I help myself, I should help others. It's not, yeah, I can only help myself. I become selfish, not helping others. Now I'm going back to Nishkam Karma Yoga, and now some examples from Bhagavad Gita. Karmanne vadhikaraste ma phalesu kadachana ma karm phal heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. It says, you have right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled to the fruit of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached for avoiding your duty. Whatever I said, I just explained to you earlier, that was the Niskam Karma Yoga and is talking about. Do your duty. And then further he continues. Yogastha kur karmani sangam tektva dhananjaya siddha siddheo samo bhutva samatvam yog uchyate. Perform your duty, equipoised. O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success. Don't think about success. Do your duty or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga, and that is your yoga. So if we come to this stage of yoga, we are great. And I think that's what we are talking about. We do our duty. Okay. And that is all karma yoga I'm talking about. Now, what happens to misdeeds of healthcare professionals? There is some quote from Bhagavad Gita I'm going to say. It is a shame that some doctors demand exorbitant amounts of remuneration for performing their duties in the current situation and try to make a quick buck. Same is true with some drug companies claiming their medication to be effective while they are not. Such misdeeds must be condemned. Now I say, Bhagavad Gita says further, At chettuma dharmam sangramam na karishyasi tatha swadharmam kirti chahitva papam vapsasi. If you do not engage in the dharmic battle, then both your personal dharma and your honor will be destroyed and you will accumulate sin. So if you don't do your duty, it will happen to you and you are doing something which is not righteous. So this is coming from Bhagavad Gita, and I trust on that. I believe that I follow that one. Now, as in coming back for consoling the families, victims' families and well-wishers, Bhagavad Gita. So now I'm coming back to my question as to how much people should worry about the current COVID crisis. People who have firm faith in God, ultimate reality, Brahman, whomsoever God you believe in, and spiritual understanding should be at least worried. We should not get much worried. The one sitting inside within your heart, within yourself, will give you protection. That is innate immunity. And chapter 15, verse 14 says, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashita Pranapana Samayukta Panchamanam Chaturvidam. I am the fire of digestion. I try to understand this particular explanation. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities. When I say fire of digestion, I'm talking about digestion. We all eat food. Who digests the food? Think about it a little bit. Bhagavad Gita, a little bit understanding here. So, and Bhagavan says, I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities. And I join with the air of life, that is breathing, outgoing and incoming air through your nostril. nose to digest the 4 kind of stuff, food stuff. And I put in the parenthesis, what are the 4 types of food? How we eat them? Swallowed. We can swallow food, we can chew food, we can lick food, or we can suck food. So he said, I am the one who is doing this. And the next one, further he says, Akirta cha bhutani kathyasyant te avyam sambhavitasya chakirtra marna adit archite. People will always speak of infamy, everlasting dishonor, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. So if somebody is a respectable person, you don't want to make yourself infamous. Come on. Now, coming back to another sloka here. Sarvas chaham hridi sannavisto matta ismrita jnanam pohanam cha vedesh charve rumeva vedyo vedant krid ved videv chaham. He says, when I am seated in everybody's heart, everyone's heart. He's talking about each one, every person. From me come remembrance, knowledge, forgetfulness by all the Vedas. I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of Vedas. So Bhagavan Krishna says that he is present within the body as the Vaishvanara energy. That is, which digests the food. Which digests food. That digests food. We should understand that it is the energy of God that sustains the material world and enables it to nurture life. And it is in the sense that God pervades this world. It's everywhere. It is in the sense Sri Krishna will protect everyone in this crisis. So now it's coming back. When we are going through all this type of crisis, it doesn't matter what it is. Crisis is COVID right now, and all the sufferings and deaths and all those things. So say, still God will, he can protect us. So faith is there, understanding, your knowledge is there, your action is there, your meditation is there. So all sorts of activities are there. Let's come back to go further. Now I'm concluding here. Now it is what is recommended for this, what is time now, 53. There is no choice for doctors, nurses and healthcare workers other than to do their duty. They must do duty. They should do it with selflessness and devotion. They should put their efforts to do the job. Dharma of a doctor need to be fulfilled as Arjuna fulfilled his dharma, a Kshatriya, to fight the war. He fought the war. Ultimately, he fought the war. After going through that lengthy dialogue with Bhagavan Sri Krishna and asking question per question, and he was answering, ultimately he was satisfied and he fought the war for 18 days. Now, therefore, they should arise with their resolve set on defeating COVID-19 viral infection. So we all should be ready, not as a care seeker, but I'm talking caregiver. They should trust Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, and he will take care of them in the same way he looked after Arjuna. This is your faith, this is your belief. Let's come on. Now, recommended choice for individuals and family. Please take preventive measures by strictly following expert guidelines. Get vaccinated. Don't delay with available safe and effective vaccines. Get necessary medication if necessary. Have faith in yourself and do your best as recommended. Worshipping Sri Krishna, our God, with utmost faith and devotion is the need of the hour. And as this is only certain medicine which is going to protect all of us, I hope we believe it. Bhagavan says, Ananyas chintayanto mamaye jana par upasate tesham nitya abhyukthanam yog cheme vahamyam. Bhagavan says, person who worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So just see, he is there to do everything for you, but you do your duty. I think the message is going through. Consider the coronavirus as the enemy that stands before us and fight the battle to emerge victorious. Swami Vivekananda said, echoing the Upanishad, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Give no place to depression. Just I'm giving a sort of impetus to everyone. Give no place to depression and give a helping hand to the government and the great doctor warriors who have bravely and selflessly entered the battlefield to fight with the COVID war. And now listen to the thunderous victory called the Panchajanya conch Bhagwan Krishna ne bajai, that Bhagwan Sri Krishna blew in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. What he said. Now the last verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and it's very beautiful. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhutur Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Beautiful. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and where there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will always be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Now, so what happens here? Bhagavan Krishna says, try to understand, this is very important. He says, and what happened? When he says, this is my opinion, this is Sanjay. Sanjay, who was narrating the story to King Dhritarashtra. And in the end, he talked about, this is my opinion. So is what happened? Wherever there is Krishna, Krishna means Atman, the great Brahman is there, and he's the master of mystics. He knows everything. He pervades everywhere. And where is the Arjun? Arjun is the one doer. He's the dharmic doer who is doing it. So what happened? There will be always victory. So don't worry about it. Keep your faith, keep your Atman, and keep your duty. That's what very nice one. Both faith-based, dharmic, non-dharmic, spiritual. And I think that leads to everyone to think in the right direction. Now, I summarize that one. COVID-19 is a major stressor, a global level affecting all aspects of human lives. That's why I provided to you. I said, I gave you an analogy of war and COVID-19 viral infection with Kurukshetra war that came from Mahabharata. I described the wealth of wisdom from Srimad Bhagavad Gita to cope with the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, such as responsibilities and duties of healthcare providers, similarly responsibilities and duties of individuals, family members, and society as a whole, building up resilience at individual, group, and societal levels, how you can manage yourself in this type of scenario, and emphasize loving devotion and faith in yourself and Sri Krishna, that is your God, whomsoever you believe in. Now, Jai Shri Krishna, Dhanyavad, Hari Om, Namaskaram to everyone. Now come back, I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Hari Singh ji. Is there anyone want to ask any question?
Let me stop sharing, so at least, yeah, okay.
So thank you, Hari Singh ji. At this time, I would like to invite our National President, Dr. Surendra Purohit, to give a vote of thanks and say a few things. As we know, Dr. Purohit is a MD FSCS in General and Vascular Surgeon, practicing in Covington, Louisiana. He is a clinical professor of surgery at Tulane University. He is also a chairman of American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, API. Dr. Purohit, can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, now it is working.
Yes.
So I have a question to Dr. Hari Singh.
Yes, sir.
The Mahabharata war ended in 18 days.
Yeah.
How about COVID war? Will it end? It is more than 18 months.
That is analogy. You don't compare the time, 18 days, how many million people they died within 18 days period. So there is no comparison with the time factor. But that was a war, and this is a war, and this is a war coming after it subsides, comes back again with another variant, comes back with another variant. So until unless we are ready to highlight and just protect ourselves by doing whatever we are supposed to do, there is no treatment yet. We can protect ourselves by getting vaccination, do everything possible, but there is no time frame. I
Can you
I
can you hear me?
Yes,
Vivek,
Can you
Purohit.
hear can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Purohit.
if I request you something, कि भाई ये टॉपिक बड़ा लंबा चौड़ा है, इसलिए we can leave it for some other time because it's a long drawn thing. एक और इशू था ना, उसको हैंडल कर लेते आज.
हाँ, डॉक्टर पुरोहित बोलना चाहते हैं, उसके बाद we will start that. Is that okay?
वो बोलने पहले, हाँ मैंने सुना नहीं उनको. ठीक है. Go ahead.
It was very enlightening and I learned quite a bit. Bhagavad Gita really fit into that one, what you just said. And I think that is how the people can survive if you follow the Bhagavad Gita. I can give you just a quickly few examples of myself. I just give you one example. One of our cardiologists got very sick and he was almost dying. And I was one of the senior surgeon here. I was not on call, but his wife really begged to come and help him out. I went in there and the patient had hardly any pulse. He's almost collapsing. And they were looking for whether it's COVID positive or not. I said, forget about getting the test for COVID positive or not. I took him to immediately in operating room. I opened him up. He had a gangrene of the gallbladder and he was almost dying. Well, anyway, to that time when I operate so fast, I do not know where I was. I do not know what I was doing, but I was doing the right thing, I think. That patient took the gallbladder out, and I stayed with him for 48 hours continuously to manage him. And that cardiologist is working now, and he survived. So I think what you said is that our job is, doesn't make any difference. And then we found out that he was a COVID positive. And I say, well, doesn't make any difference now, but it's positive or not, but I have to help my friend and my colleague, and he survived. And that is what I was looking for.
Oh, that's
I think these are the type of the things which we always are. I'm still working from 5 o'clock in the morning. I just came from the hospital. I'm in my office right now. But I think we are devoted in the sense, not because we are looking for money or anything like that, but we are looking for something good. And doctors feel happy when something positive happens, that his patient survives when you do this type of thing. Other thing, what you said very well, that there's no treatment for that. All the prevention and taking care of the vaccine, and as you already said that, I'm not going to repeat that, but it can come back even after the vaccine. You still can get the COVID. My son, who's a urologist, he got both the vaccine and he got COVID positive again, and he was sick for 5 days. He just came back from the work again. So I think that is, you should not even take it for granted. Just because you got vaccine, you will not get it. You can become very sick even getting the vaccine. And I think that I'm not going to take much time, as you say that we don't have much time to. I can give a lot of other examples and things like that, but it was a very interesting talk. And I think I do believe in Bhagavad Gita, as you said. And I think and we should all believe in that one, because that is our strength. And you reinstated that, and it was a very, very nice talk, and I really learned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Purohit. Thank you very much.
डॉक्टर पुरोहित, देखिए आपने तो भागवत गीता के, आपकी जीवन ही भागवत गीता है, इसलिए आपकी बात अलग है. वो उनकी भाव की बात नहीं कर रहे. आप जैसे जो लोग हैं, उन्होंने तो बजा रखा सब दुनिया को. वो कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जो लालची होते हैं, बाकी तो ईश्वर की बड़ी कृपा है उन पे. उनके पास सब कुछ है, काम भी है, मेहनत भी है, और दुनिया को संभाल रखा है. अब देखिए, बात तो बहुत चलेगी आगे भी. ये बात इतना अच्छा टॉपिक है और इतना तरीके से कहा गया, और इसकी बहुत ही शाखाएं हैं इस बात की. जब हम गीता पे चल पड़े तो हम गीता पे ऑल द वे चलते रहेंगे. तो इसलिए अब मेरे ख्याल में ये है कि लोगों की इच्छा थी कि एक अच्छे मूड में भी आ जाएं, कि भारत की एक खबरें भी अच्छी आई है पीछे से, उसकी बात कर लें, अच्छा रहेगा. खबरें जो है, जो अभी ओलंपिक में हुआ है, दुनिया अब भारत में जगह जगह उसका चर्चा हो रही है, लोग मना रहे हैं उस बात को. लेट अस टॉक अबाउट दैट लिटिल बिट, बिकॉज ऐसी इच्छा थी लोगों की. तो ऐसा मैं करता हूँ. दिनेश जी कहाँ गए आप भाग गए?
नहीं दिनेश जी हैं, यही है.
दिनेश जी आपने कोई बैठा था. दिनेश जी आप चालू करिए इस बात को.
हाँ नहीं, ऐसा है, जैसे सब लोग जानते हैं, ये पहली बार इंडिया में हो रहा है कि वी वन द लार्जेस्ट नंबर ऑफ मेडल्स इन टोक्यो 2027. 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze. And after 20 years or so, 20 years or 41 years, in hockey also we got a medal this time. And then very interesting thing happened on 7th of August when Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Puraskar was renamed after the well-deserved Dhyan Chand, Major Dhyan Chand Khel Ratan Award. So many things happened on that day. So I think it is a very proud moment for all the Indians, either in India or outside, and we are feeling very happy. So some of us have something to share with all of you, something very interesting, important. So that is just a background of this next half an hour sharing and feeling proud about the achievements of Indians in Olympics. So I will just stop here and let other people, or maybe Bhishmji has very important memories of his childhood when he was also a hockey player.
Really?
I did not know that he was a hockey
Neither
player.
do I.
Yeah, he told me that his father taught him hockey playing and he became one of the top player in his school. So that is a journey from hockey player to become a judge. So let us hear more about that, Bhishmji.
चलो ये अच्छी बात है. ये तो बड़ी मेरा आजकल ऐसा है, हम लोग ऐसे हो गए हैं कि भाई बड़े बढ़ गए आगे, बहुत चीजें करनी लाइफ में. तो आप विश्वास नहीं करोगे, कल मैंने जब ध्यानचंद के बारे में सुना कि भाई उनके नाम पे कुछ हुआ है, और जो सारी बातें सुनी तो मैं भावुक हो गया एकदम. ऐसा था कि जब मैं हार्डली 5-6 साल का था, my father used to be in the army. Army means he was in charge of their money. जो कहते हैं उसका जो भी टाइटल होता उनका था. तो वो he used to play hockey, and he used to be a very good player. He was a top player of many types, and he was a follower of Dhyan Chand, and every day he would tell me the story of Dhyan Chand. And I was growing up at that time. Dhyan Chand, ye hai, Dhyan Chand, wo hai, is qisam ki baatein. And I was inspired because I used to watch him playing hockey. Then I started playing hockey, and us samay I used to play hockey every day. And maybe 7वीं में पढ़ता था, I built up a team of hockey players. और interesting बात ये थी कि we all used to go to Shakha also. So it was very interesting thing. We used to be member of Shakha also, and अब सारे member Shakha के थे. हम पहले hockey खेलते थे, उसके बाद Shakha जाते थे. और they used to carry the sticks with them, all kind of stuff. So it was one thing. So then we played hockey to the extent, and of course, I went all the way up in hockey playing while doing other things too. So I owe a lot to Dhyan Chand ji. Of course, I owe my father. So that memories came back. And when कुछ लोगों ने कहा, especially इन्होंने कहा, गुप्ता जी आपने, इन लोगों ने कहा, और कुछ लोगों ने भी कहा कि भाई इसको बोलना, कुछ करना चाहिए. मैंने कहा चलो इसको बना लेते हैं. सारा भारत बना रहा है, हम भी भारतवासी हैं असली, तो we should also at least talk about this to some extent and immediately, because this is the time. Because if you watch TV, I watch TV on these days. There was so much celebration in the house and everywhere else of the people who came there, and as if something unusual has happened. So India has another wave of positiveness. And also इस pandemic situation में ऐसी अच्छी बातें हो जाएं तो उसका जिक्र भी करना चाहिए कि लोग अभी भी जीवित हैं, उनमें भी जान है. They also understand we have to be celebrating something too, which is positive. This is my impression. Baki, I don't talk about Neeraj Chopra and Ravi Kumar, Ravi Kumar and the people who had done Sidhu and all those people, tremendous job. And I have read everything about them, believe me, because that was one way of keeping my mind away from pandemics. ये आपको गीता जी की बात सुनी आपने, इसकी बात मैं कर रहा हूँ. इसके द्वारा चलिएगा तो वो भी एक सुख मिलेगा. एक अच्छी बात भी है. सुरेश जी की बात सुन लीजिएगा और भी अच्छा होगा.
एक्चुअली भीष्म जी आप जो कह रहे हैं उसमें एक वुमेन हॉकी कैप्टन जो है रानी, उनकी लाइफ की स्टोरी, इफ यू सी how a person of having no resources whatsoever can still achieve what she has achieved as a hockey captain of the Indian women team is unbelievable and so much inspirational.
All the players like that, the whole life, like Mirabai Chanu.
Yes.
She is such a poor family. She was living in a hut.
Mm-hmm.
And last year she got sick. She was sent to USA for treatment. And
Mm-hmm.
still she practiced and she won, the silver. So all these players who got the awards or medals, their whole life is very, very inspiring and very tough. They were not born like a silver spoon in their mouth.
अभी जो डॉक्टर हरिहर सिंह जी बोल रहे थे ना, योग क्षेमम वहाम में हम, these are really the example of yoga, that how Lord helps us, how God, Lord Shri Krishna, when you really work, जिसको निष्काम कर्म की बात कर रहे हैं, you can take some precedent from these events and see how things are working in individual's life and nation's life.
एक बात और interesting बात, I just remembered it. Talking about Neeraj Chopra, somebody said, what did he said? He said that he was reminded of the history of Rana Pratap. Bhago, bhago, ab bhag chalo, dhale ki nok dikhai di. That's what he was doing, because he had dhala. No, he
Yes.
was
Yes.
Hana.
Hmm.
Yeah, something on lighter side. Neeraj Chopra, Neeraj, another name for Kamal.
Yes. Kamal Khila.
So, Rahul Gandhi has not congratulated him yet. Rahul Gandhi has not congratulated him because Neeraj Chopra had congratulated when Modi had won the election in 2019. And he also thanked Modi ji for repealing Dhara 370. And he's also Bhakta of Jai Shri Ram. So because of that, some of these leftists, they are very sad. And Rahul Gandhi did not even congratulate him. Just see the mentality of these people. And then on social media, they are writing some funny things that he won the, he threw the bhala 87 meters. Multiply 8 by 7 comes out 56. 56 inch ki chhati. And he won it on 7th of August. Again, multiply 8 by 7, you get 56. And also, if you add August 7 is August 7, 2021. 8 plus 7 plus 20 plus 21 comes out 56. So is it just coincidence that everything comes out 56? Huh?
These are lighter notes, and I think
lighter note. Social media people are coming up, this mathematics.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yes. Suresh, you wants to say something?
नहीं, मैं सुन रहा हूँ।
I think
वुमेन्स टीम का अचीवमेंट जो है
राजदान जी कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं. Please unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself. राज जी अनम्यूट करें अपने को. या बोलिए. Now you can say. क्या हो गया?
आवाज नहीं आ रही है उनकी.
Speaker is not working. राज जी आवाज नहीं आ रही. दूसरा लीजिए आप. एक मिनट तुम जरा बैठे रहो. आवाज नहीं आती.
ये जो वेव आई है ये बहुत ही इनकरेजिंग है पूरे भारत के लिए स्पोर्ट्स में, और ऑब्वियसली चारों तरफ ही लोग इतने खुश हैं. ये सारी न्यूज़ जो आ रही है और लोगों को काम करने का कि यस वी हैव टू वर्क, वी कैन वर्क हार्डर. क्योंकि नीरज चोपड़ा का अगर देखिए तो ही इज ओनली 23, सो ही इज वर्किंग फ्रॉम लास्ट 10 years व्हेन ही वाज 13.
The main change is the Prime Minister, the involvement of Prime Minister in the process was very great. हर एक जो लोग थे जिन्होंने participate किया, before the program he talked to them, after the program he talked to them, he encouraged them a lot, so that will go a long way. And I also see that a lot of funds are being given to them. So there will be encouragement for in the future for more people coming to this kind of field. So that I think it's good for India.
And they have been invited
There is another-
for 15th of August program at Red Fort, all of them.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing
128
again,
people, all of them have been invited.
yeah, one more topic is relevant today, that the Prime Minister of India was heading the Security Council today. And if you heard his speech, I heard his speech. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
He made a very good speech, made very good presentation. And for the first time in the history of United Nations, a person was so clear about the vision of the future of the world in many ways. I mean, it was not a total vision, but some vision. And I heard the whole story because, of course, I have worked with the United Nations myself. When I was ambassador, I was also ambassador of the United Nations, and I have never seen that kind of warmth for one person like the Prime Minister of India. Even though he's not, we are not a permanent member, but we are the lead, we are the member in charge for 1 month. That's great.
That's really good.
I was very proud of it, by the way. We should be all proud of it. And I think this is one of the other things we have to talk about today, okay? In addition to that.
Yes, yes. Just one more thing about this, because we are talking about the sports. Government of India has started centers, what they call Khelo India. There are 1,000 centers are proposed. Out of that, 300 plus centers are already working. So to find the new athletes, new sportsmen in the districts, villages, this is the scheme which is right now working.
That's good. राजदान वहां बैठे हैं, राजदान, right?
जी.
आप उसी राजदान फैमिली से हैं जो do I know you? I think आपके क्या लगते हैं वो?
उनकी आवाज नहीं है. उनकी
आवाज काम नहीं कर रही है.
नहीं आ रही? अच्छा छोड़.
राज जी आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही, आप दूसरा ले, दूसरे माइक पे जाइए.
कोई बात नहीं।
वो आ रही है, 1-2 मिनट देंगे तो आ जाएंगे।
दूसरे पे जाएंगे।
राजस्थान जी का राजस्थान जी।
Namaskar ji, this is Raj Razdan. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you very well.
Bisham ji, I was a guest speaker at one of your programs here. I'm with the Senior Citizens Program of Atlanta.
Yeah,
So I
I
don't
went
know
to
if
your
you
house for
remember.
dinner.
Yes.
I remember that.
And Subhash ji is my husband.
I know that. No, that's what I'm thinking about. I was figuring out who you were, honestly. Seen you
Yes.
after 20 years,
But
I
I
think.
would like to say that we as NRIs we should support the athletes. And whatever little we can do, because we need to send this message to the Prime Minister that they do need coaches, not that their coaches are not there at the moment, but it is very imperative that we support the athletes. They come from very poor families, and I was very proud of all the girls. They did a wonderful, wonderful job.
Yes.
And if there is some way we can get special training for them, then it'll be good.
That's very good. Well, very nice.
So what can we do?
You please suggest us. I think I'll ask Vivek ji to look into this with your guidance.
I can put forth a proposal, and we can all put in our pointers and send the message to the Prime Minister. He has been very, very supportive of many of the projects that have taken place at the moment. And I would like to reiterate about Article 370. I come from Kashmir, and I am very delighted about that article and the removal of that article, and including 35A.
That's right.
Raji, I have just put my email address in the chat. Anything you'd like to propose, please send me an email and I'll discuss with Bhishmji and see together what we can do, how we can do.
Sure, sure. And I mean, not just me, I would like to request everybody on this platform to
Sure.
make suggestions so that we can support.
Sure.
This is the least we can do as NRIs to support our athletes.
Absolutely.
And
To
they've
start
really
with,
made
I
us
think,
very proud this year, very proud.
To start with, we will develop something to send to the Prime Minister, thanking him for all his efforts and etc. to start with. Okay, then we can have further dialogue. Okay, let's do that.
Raji, Dekhi, you already have a
Let's do that.
support.
We draft something and I'll sign it, and we'll sign some other people. And we'll just send it to him. Maybe he will get attention.
Yeah,
then-
I work with Dr. Singh, and he is our director for the membership as secretary. So, if y'all want to approach him and he can get in touch with me, that's fine. And or Vivek ji, I can also give you my email,
Sure.
and but Dr. Singh and we go a long ways, so he's
Absolutely.
very, very diligent in whatever he does.
Very nice. बहुत अच्छा. बहुत अच्छा.
ठीक.
Very good. We could see. Please keep on coming and inspiring us.
Sure, sure.
Once you start that, Raji, if you can start writing it, and Vivek, if you can put it together, we'll all join in too, and we'll just add on after that. Let there be a start, and everybody will start putting in some of their.
Thank you, Sudeep ji. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
And it was a pleasure to see you again, Mr. Agnihotri. It was really nice.
Thank you. Ji.
It has been a long. And I hope Mrs. Agnihotri is
Lavanya
doing
Reddy
well.
since she started something in Seattle.
Oh, very nice. Everybody's okay. I thank
Yeah.
you.
Very
What do you want to say, Lavanya ji?
Hi,
And please
hi,
stay
my
safe,
name is
everybody.
Lavanya
As
Reddy.
Dr. Singh said, everybody please be masked when you go out in groups in a big, especially now with 15th August coming, be sure that you are safe.
लावण्या जी कुछ कहना चाह रही हैं?
Yes, may I
Yeah.
say a few words, please?
Sure, please.
It's interesting. Yesterday, I end up in groups of people yesterday. I met some leaders from locally. So there was an argument saying that India is not supporting enough. So I said we should all adopt at least one school, wherever we came from, and support that school for increasing sports in it. So that way, each one of us can support and nurture in one school. I came from a girls' high school. Mine was missionary school. So they had like an American missionary school. So they supported us really. They encouraged well. And I participated in college sports and everything. So I said, we should encourage our own areas. That way we would bring from the roots, right? See, I came from a small town. So if we fund them to participate, that would be good. That's what I was suggesting yesterday in the group I met. I met about 15 organizations yesterday, and I told them, and they were all interested in it. And if you guys start an initiative, we could always participate in it. And as a NFIA, me and Raj are board members, Sudeep Gorakshakar and Ashok Patnaik and Harihar Bhai. We're all board members in NFIA. We all can do that from NFIA and join together with organizations. And we could do that, definitely, yes.
Thank you, Lavanya ji. It was a wonderful
Thank you.
suggestion. Bhishma ji, if you think it's okay now to close the meeting, we can close it for tonight.
जी आप एक व्यवस्था बनाइएगा, मैं सबको देख पाता नहीं हूँ, तो ऐसा रास्ता निकालिए सबको देख सकूं।
So on the top, if you go to view and say gallery, it might be able to.
बाद में बता देना मुझे,
ठीक है, okay.
बाद में समझा देना मुझे।
Sure.
ठीक है, ओके
ठीक
चले।
है, okay.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
Namaskar.
Namaste ji, namaskar. Thank you very much. It was very nice. Dr. Harihar Singh ji, it was very nice to
Things are
get
both-
the relation